Welcome back to our channel, Ultimate Crypto Bureau. Guys, today is a big day in the markets for cryptos, and it's one of the most important days in the history of cryptos, to be honest. Looks like legally, finally, cryptos will be about to enter into a bull market with the news that has recently been come out today, actually. As you guys can see on your screen, some of the sources from SEC in US has confirmed that Chairman Gary Genslar, has put his resignation through, and obviously this is at the moment unconfirmed, unofficial reports coming out. However, obviously, this kind of reports will only come out if internally something has happened within SEC. And this is a big day for crypto investors, crypto community, and globally, basically. Why do I say that? Is because one of the biggest obstacles of the way crypto was governed in US has been now, I believe, will be put on the sidelines. I mean, did I see this coming? Yes, we all saw this coming. And one of the biggest reasons for this to come in is because there was a motion that was filed by some of the senators in US Senate to get rid of Gary Genslar, because obviously they saw him as an obstacle for the crypto investments, for crypto adoption, for crypto innovations in US. And they realized that, countries like China, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, UAE, Russia to some extent, European Union laws that has come out for cryptos. UK recently has published, big news about cryptos and legalizing it into a big, nice framework. So they realized the US was getting behind, basically, behind all these countries that are moving forward with their crypto adoptions. So they had to act, and they created this motion to get rid of Gary Genslar from the chairman position. And secondly, the writings was on the wall, basically, because he went after Coinbase, he went after Binance, he went after all the crypto firms, but he missed the biggest, scam that actually happened under his, watch, and that was FTX, right? So the questions were asked, why Gary Genslar and his team could not figure out what FTX did, because they were in close contact with them. They were talking to FTX executives and Sam Bankman-Fried and his teams for months and months, right? So why Gary Genslar and his team never actually, looked into it, or had any hint that FTX might be doing things incorrectly, or whatever the reason could be, right? So, however, this is how it goes, right? So, but he went after the wrong companies. Like, Coinbase is a publicly traded company in US, and to come back to Coinbase and said, sorry, but you are now illegally putting all these crypto securities into your exchange and selling them to investors, where initially in 2021, SEC approved them to go publicly traded company, going through all the rules and regulations. So that doesn't make sense, right? And again, the latest last week or the couple of weeks ago, when BlackRock actually put an application for spot VTM. I mean, BlackRock is the biggest asset manager in the world. Roughly around $9.5 trillion. That's how much they have under asset management. And when BlackRock comes and knocks your door, there must be something brewing behind the scenes, right? And as you guys can see, Gary Genslar, has handed in his resignation. Obviously, this is not yet come out officially from the US. However, it's in the news. However, is an anonymous source from SEC official who has spoken about it. And there was an internal investigation that has happened on Gary Genslar and his team. And as you guys can see, you have the results in front of you. Now, this is the biggest legal battle victory for not only for Coinbase and not only for Ripple's case as well, but also for the crypto community in general, globally, not only in US, but globally, guys, because US is still the biggest markets in terms of investments into new technologies. So this will be a biggest victory for crypto investors, crypto owners, crypto exchanges, you name it. Anyone who's associated with cryptos will be really celebrating this news, basically. It's never nice that somebody is leaving this position and stuff like this. However, guys, come on. We all know what he was trying to do. Behind the scenes is something else. In front of you, it was something else. His videos where it came out where he was like saying blockchain technology is a good thing. He openly was showing his support behind Algorand, calling him the very good blockchain, technology. 75% of the coins are not securities and stuff like this. The open videos are available on the internet. Everyone saw that. Everyone knows about them, right? So you can't suddenly turn around and say, sorry, I'm going completely against what I said before, sort of thing, right? There might be, obviously, this may be coming from the Biden administration because they were worried about, cryptos and worried about the digital dollar and CDBCs and all that kind of stuff. And that's why Gary Genslar was playing a big role behind the scenes to kind of, scare people off from cryptos. However, that hasn't happened, right? That hasn't happened. People are not giving up on cryptos. The firms are not giving up on cryptos. So, guys, what does this lead to? I mean, obviously, you're not going to see an immediate reaction straight away, right? You might see a little bit. Bitcoin might jump to like 32, 34,000 next in the coming week. Just to react on this news. There will be an initial reaction. Everyone's going to be so happy, and everyone gonna think, okay, now the bull market has all started, and all this kind of stuff, right, guys? I mean, nothing is going to start till the key factors come into place. I would consider this Gary Genslar's resignation as bullish factor number 5. Number 5, right? So what are the first 4 factors that really will bring the big bull market that everyone is waiting for, right? Number one and most important one is the Bitcoin halving. So as you guys can see on your screen, we are 299 days roughly away from the halving to occur. The next halving will occur at 840,000 block level. And as you guys can see, certain hours, certain times where we are at the moment in the halving cycle. And what is Bitcoin halving, basically? So roughly the estimated time according to this clock, it's around Friday, April 26, 2024, right? That's when the Bitcoin halving, or thereabout, really. That's when the Bitcoin halving will happen. So what will Bitcoin halving will happen, and what will happen after Bitcoin halving? So Bitcoin halving, basically, at the moment, the miners are getting paid around 6.25 Bitcoins for mining and running the Bitcoin network. From 2024 onwards, at a block height of 840,000, that block reward will be reduced to half. It's going to become 3.125. What does this mean? And why is this so important? This means that there will be less Bitcoins will be generated globally around the world. No one will be able to generate more Bitcoins. And the mining rewards that they are getting for the miners is only going to get reduced in half. So that means there will be less Bitcoin available to trade. There will be less Bitcoin available to buy. There will be less Bitcoin available for, crypto investors, for anybody to actually get their hands on. And why is this critical? Because now the scarcity will go even higher. It's going to be less Bitcoin available to buy, guys. And this is what's going to make the price shot up. So I add, catalyst number 1 for the next bull market as Bitcoin halving. That was number 1 catalyst. And you can see in the history, every time that we have seen, the halving occur, the bull market has started on from there onwards, guys, from there onwards, right? So you can read up on it, you can do your own research on it and realize why this is number 1 and critical aspect or catalyst for next bull market, right? Number two, right? Number two, what you want to see is, why is it important that the bull market will play out from in 20 nearly after, like, I would say June 2024 onwards, for at least another year and a half, basically. Number two catalyst for the markets is going to be the US election in 2024, right? So as you guys can see, you've got the Democrats who are going for the US presidential election, right? Mr. Kennedy, he is pro crypto, guys. You may have seen him recently in some of his speeches. He is pro crypto. Biden is not a pro crypto person. He's causing all these problems that is going on in US, right? He's got an agenda, whatever it is, right? However, he is anti-crypto president, basically, right? Where then you have all the Republicans here. And I believe most of these Republicans are actually pro-cryptos, including Donald Trump himself, right? They're all pro-cryptos. If you see the recent speeches globally in US, especially in US, you will know that all of these guys are pro-cryptos, right? So during the election year in US, from past several years that elections has happened in the US, the market has always started a bull market just before it. During the election year, no president want to see markets tank or fall down or recession or anything like that. They've avoided it altogether because they all want to portray the look. Under my presidency, it's never going to be a problem. Markets will be going up. So there will be a bull market in every asset type, especially the stocks, especially cryptos, especially all this, high risk technology firms, technological advancements, all of this stuff. You will see that there will be a lot of money pouring into it, and you will see a massive price upsurge on, all these various asset classes. And I'll add, crypto into it, because if NASDAQ stocks go up, if US 30 stocks go up, if global equities go up, if other asset classes go up, basically, we will definitely see cryptos also going up. And this is the second catalyst, I will say, that I will add in the list of the ones that will eventually start the bull market. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin halving happening in April, US president election happening in November, usually 6 months after after the halving period. Usually that's when the bull market starts, right? So as you guys can see, it's nicely laid out. Now, next one, okay? Number three is the ETFs, guys. ETFs. Why is this so important? Why is this gonna bring trillions of dollars into the crypto market by the institutional investors, right? Why is this gonna happen? As you guys can see, first it was BlackRock who's filed the ETFs. The biggest asset manager that filed the ETF. Yes, we had ETFs before from, various other firms that were rejected by, ARK. We had ARK ETF. We had even the Fidelity's ETF was rejected as well. We had the various other firms that from time to time has put a Bitcoin ETF, a Bitcoin spot ETF, but none of them has got a strongest case yet than BlackRock and Fidelity, basically, right? So Fidelity has also rejoined I would say, the arms race of spot Bitcoin ETF. And what will happen once this gets approved? Once this gets approved, then we need to be a little bit careful, guys, because what the markets might do is they might tank the market for a bit, right? And then once the market is, all the market participants, all the leverage, all of this gets cleaned up, there are only two scenarios that, will play out. One is they've already played that out in 2022. Because remember, guys, creating an application for Bitcoin ETF is not just an overnight process where somebody will just write something, 130 page of document and then just write garbage in it and then submit for application. It doesn't work like that. It requires months and years of planning, right? And it requires you to have everything in place, like, for example, the custody of the assets, right? BlackRock is one of the biggest custodian of the money globally, especially in US, 9.5 trillion, right? you need to have the custody. How are you going to store it? How is it going to get traded? Who's your investor? So you need to speak to your investors. There must be an investors global demand for them to even file for an application. BlackRock is a massive firm, right? So they're not just going to file it for the sake of filing it, right? They file it because their investors are asking them, listen, you need to do this now before it's too late. You need to do this now before it's too late, right? So they are listening. They are saying what has happened in the world. So one scenario I believe is already played out. November 2022 is the time when the crypto markets dropped the lowest point from past 2 years, right? Guess what? Who was buying at that point? And I'll show you the catalyst number 4 in a minute, and you will have a clearer picture. So Bitcoin spot ETFs is the catalyst number 3, not only by BlackRock, but now Fidelity has joined. Fidelity is also a second biggest asset manager in the US, massive firm, $1.9 trillion under investment. So as you guys can see, now we're talking about in trillions. We're not talking about in billions. We're now talking about trillion-dollar firms coming into cryptocurrencies, guys. So this could only be a bullish signal. Yes, this could only be a bullish signal. Remember what I always said to some of my followers, that guys, one thing you need to be very careful is this: do not sell off your assets cheaply, especially cryptocurrencies and some of the good projects that I've recommended before, for you guys, or I've spoken to you about, is this: do not sell your good crypto coins, because this potentially in 4 to 5 years time, you'll be sitting on a gold pot, basically gold pot, guys. So, always remember why all these firms, always ask yourself this question: why these firms are coming into cryptos, and you will get your answer. Okay, so as you guys can see, other firms who have put a Bitcoin spot ETFs are WisdomTree, Van Eck, very big asset management firm, Invesco, yet another big investment asset manager firm, right? Cathy Wood's ARK, also they are big investment firms as well, right? And as you guys can see, CBOE, the exchange, and the CME, and all these guys have actually rewritten some of the rules for this Bitcoin ETFs to come into existence, right? Because all these ETFs will be traded on the centralized exchanges. So they also need to be prepared. They also need to follow the rules as well, right? So I consider this as a very good sign for cryptocurrencies for long term. In the long term, the reason is because now you have rules to play with. So all those scammy schemes and pyramid schemes and all this kind of stuff that happens in cryptos, which is a bad thing for cryptos, will slowly start disappearing. Otherwise, they're going to have to follow all the rules, right? So this is a good sign. Only the good projects, only the good coins will survive. And that's why I always keep telling you guys, look, forget about the meme coins and running after, all this, Ponzi schemes and pumps and dumps and all that. Just concentrate on the main good solid projects who are currently building. Remember, guys, bear markets are for builders and bull markets are for fools, because in bull markets, the fools jump into it, buying the assets at the very highest prices, right? The builders in the bear market build it and they prepare for what's next to come. And that's what we need to do as a community, guys. So catalyst number 3 is the Bitcoin spot ETFs, which is going to drive the price of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies much, much higher than what it is currently, guys. Okay, and as we already discussed about Gary Genslar's resignation, what's happening in SEC, I would consider that as number 4 catalyst to push for the next bull market in cryptos. And the number 5th catalyst, as you guys can see, this was a recent institutional adoption and institutional investments within cryptos. It's coming, and we know that it's coming. They have been doing it. We know it's happening behind the scenes. We know firms like Goldman Sachs, firms like AWS, AWS, Amazon. We know firms like Tesla, Tesla already had a Bitcoin before during the bull market and they sold at the highest price. And now I'm pretty sure Elon Musk must have bought some when he went to $15,000 or $20,000. He must have bought some more. Pretty sure Elon Musk has done that as well. So big firms getting involved, the big banks getting involved. And as you guys can see, you have a lot of, there was an OTC trade risk being done by Goldman Sachs. Well, why would somebody like Goldman Sachs get involved in crypto? Because they believe that this could be the way forward. The tokenization could be the way forward, right? Blockchain technology is the way forward, right? You got JP Morgan, who initially said, no, you can't do this. Crypto is a scam, this, that. But hey, what they were doing, they were building their own blockchain, right? They were investing in cryptos, right? They're investing millions of dollars in crypto technologies, right? So then you have Citadel, right? You have Citadel, the biggest hedge fund in the world. You got Brevan Howard, invested so much money into cryptocurrencies, right? You got investment bank Cohen as well, who is becoming a, one of the crypto players who invest in startups in cryptos. So you got JP Morgan, you got Bank of America, you got DBS Bank in Japan, you got so many. We have countries like El Salvador, DR Congo in Africa, and various other places. And guys, this all leads to our number 5 catalyst that will bring the bull market, right? And we have recently seen Dubai opening up for cryptos. We have seen Hong Kong opening up for cryptos. China initially banned cryptos, right? But hey, they've realized that banning cryptos is not the solution. It's not the solution for the Chinese economy. So they have opened up via a third backdoor, which is Hong Kong, right? Now Hong Kong is allowing to crypto trading, crypto investments. So the money in Asia is going to flow through Hong Kong, through UAE, Dubai, and also through Singapore. These are all crypto-friendly cities, global cities in the world where the investments are only increasing, right? So this is all, I would say, a good news for crypto markets, basically. And this is our number 5 catalyst, along with the sport BTF. Once the sport BTF gets approved, guys, it's not far, we are not far off. Once it gets approved, yes, one thing we need to be careful of and be prepared for it is that they might tank the crypto markets, right the way down. That we might see a sudden big drop in crypto markets for anything, any purpose, any related, just for them to buy all the coins that they can buy at cheap prices. That's what they're going to do, guys. It's always been their way. That's how they've done it in crypto, in equity markets, in bond markets, in any gold, in oil, everything, guys. And this is how they make money. Everyone is in it to make money, whether it's retail investors or institutional investors or big firms like BlackRock, guys. So they will always buy at a cheap prices. I believe they've already bought at the cheapest prices in November, and then suddenly in January we started seeing, the complete reversal in crypto markets. Everything started going up from January. Now they have put the application, comes June, and they are playing in stages, guys. So just wanted to make this video for all of you crypto entities and crypto lovers and crypto investors that now is the time to accumulate, guys. And I hope this video is quite informative for you guys to make your own decisions, do your own research. Obviously, whatever we discussed here is not a financial advice, and we never recommend any buying and selling of cryptos because it's highly risky. However, I would say you do your own research and look what's happening around the world, and then you make your own decisions. Okay, guys, till next time, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and let's reach out to as many people as possible so that average Joe around the world can actually get involved and can realize the full potential. And obviously crypto is the way forward. So everyone who watches this video, I will be very, very thankful if you guys could hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will produce very informative videos like this and keep you guys posted and updated into various aspects of crypto. Okay, till then, see you guys and have a good weekend. Bye.